Hi everyone, welcome to Cheltenham Chart episode 3 and a lot to get through on a very informative weekend of racing. I have to say that the comments section this week was full of very informative stuff, and it looks like there's a lot of shrewd people watching this, even though we don't have as many subscribers as other videos. Certainly there's a lot of shrewd boys watching this. The weekend proved that the bookmakers are ripping the prices, but we'll go on to the comments at the end. But there were a lot of very good ones, and if I've missed yours out, then I'm really sorry. What did we see over the past 3 days since I made the last video? Well, firstly, the Stayers race at Newbury was really informative. Paisley Park came back. It was a decent enough comeback. I thought Thyme Hill was very impressive for his first outing of the season. The Stayers looks a little bit open, but I think that was the performance that Hobbs would have been looking for. A lot of people saying that Paisley Park, that was what he needed to do first time out. I don't know. I wonder if Thyme Hill has his measure, to be honest. I've never been fully convinced that Paisley Park was a wonder winner of the Stayers. I've always thought it was a weak division, and I do think that Thyme Hill may be able to confirm that form. I thought McFabulous didn't stay. I can't see how he can win a Stayers hurdle. I mean, he travelled into the race like a winner, and he folded very tamely, really. Getting on to Saturday and Sunday, and I'll try and talk about every horse that ran. What I said about the horses being ripped in price was proved out on Saturday. And I have to say, I've got no respect for anyone in racing, so if people disagree with my opinion on some of the things, then that's just my opinion on it. Epatante, yes, she looked absolutely amazing. You couldn't fault the performance, but she beat a horse who was lost in the champion chase last season, beaten over 50 lengths. And yes, he's come out this season and won 2 Mickey Mouse handicaps. Well, one of them was a grade 2, but it was a joke of a race where he beat a 16-1 shot. He's been left in the lead, So Royale, which he hated. He gave Epatante £7, and you've got like that 2 Muppets on channel ITV. Fitzgerald in Henderson's pocket and McCoy in JP's pocket, saying they had shivers up his spine. She put spurs up the spine. She didn't beat Istebrook or Hurricane Fly like that, you know. She beat a horse that was beat 50 lengths in the champion chase last season, getting £7. Oh, and the bookies loved that. They loved that. 6-4 from 3-1, so halved in price. Instead of getting £2.50 for your pound, you're getting £2.50 for your pound instead of £4. Right. Suddenly, San Roy, Abacadabras, all those horses that actually are grade 1 horses have become worse, and she's become some sort of superstar because she could do that. The horse who was going to give her the biggest race got carried out. I mean, it was just a farce. So Royale is a horse who stalks horses and tries to use his finishing kick, and he's been left in front after 2 hurdles. The horse hated it. Andy's not that good in the first place. Andy was giving her £7. For me, she was good. She was maybe clipped into 9-4 good. 6-4 is an absolute joke of a price, even though she's the reigning champ. I'll get on the horse who I think could give her a race, and it's not one of the ones like Abacadabras or San Roy either. I'm not ranting about Epatante, I'm just saying that she didn't really beat a whole lot. Ballyadam yesterday, I thought the race looked pretty much grade 2 standard, really, but there was decent horses like Caskmate in there and Ngolo. The race turned into a bit of a 6 furlong sprint, really, with a few hurdles thrown in before that. But Ballyadam did it well. I wouldn't say he was mega impressive, but he was very good. But what I saw, there was a couple of flaws really for me. He lost 2-3 lengths at the second or third hurdle. And he also jumped to the left at one hurdle as well. I didn't like the way he bungled the last. And in a sprint, it was an okay performance. I thought Angolo looked okay, but I can see him getting topped like for toe in races no matter where he goes. And even though he looked like a horse that would like a stronger pace, I still wonder when the tops get turned on if he's going to get caught out all the time. So he wouldn't be for me. Ladbrokes have left Ballyadam alone at 8-1. If you were really impressed, then you should be taking that, because most bookmakers took the opportunity to make him sixes. So a quarter clipped off his price for that. Envoy Allen, the eulogising about his jumping is all very well, but he was 7 seconds slower than Mega Mindy. So he was just basically going on a solo run round, a jog round, jumping the fences at his own pace. I know that he was very impressive in what he did from the second race, second last, but he beat Assemble. Now, I don't think he's running home to Gordon's yard and shouting down his box, "Oh, I just beat Assemble," easy as you like. Because plenty of horses in the yard would be shouting, "Well, so what?" You know what I mean? Because that wasn't a good race. And like I say, it was 7 seconds slower than a race on the card for the mare. So don't be getting too carried away with that. 6-4 from 2-1. I don't think he'll be beating Jonadal like that. I don't think he'll be coasting into an easy lead like that. I'm not saying that Envoy Allen's going to... I'm just actually putting a bit of cold water on some of these performances. Like Epatante beat nothing. Ballyadam did make mistakes. Envoy Allen was a slow run race where he got to jump at his own pace. I thought Honeysuckle looked a bit vulnerable. She won. I think she won a bit snugger than what it looked as well. I mean, everyone knows that I like Honeysuckle a lot and was on her last year. I think she could be vulnerable this year. I still don't think her hurdling is absolutely perfect. She was clipped from 7-2 to 5-2. Some places have still got 11-4, and there is a couple at 3-1. But I think she could be vulnerable. I'll talk about a horse that I was pleased with, but she was good. I wasn't blown away. But for her first appearance of the season to win a Grade 1 was very impressive. But I still think that hurdling technique, is going to get her into trouble. It's not as good as Epatante's. And just maybe she might not be the cert that she looks for the mares this season. I've got some notes here about horses that I liked over the weekend and the horses I'm impressed with, and then I'll go on to the comments after. Brave Man's Game was a horse that not a lot of people talked about after his win. I was really impressed with this horse. Paul Nicholls' horse, I think it was Friday at Newbury. Impressive performance. A horse that's going a little bit under the radar for Cheltenham at the moment. He could be a British horse for maybe the Ballymore or the Albert Bartlett that people are not seeing or not thinking about at the moment. I was really impressed with his performance. I also was really impressed with the Gordon Elliott horse in the juvenile hurdle yesterday. Zana here managed to sneak a little bit of 16s. I don't like after timing, but I did get a little bit of 16s, and I sneaked a little bit of 12s because the price dropped. I still don't know if that's the best horse out of Gordy's. This Quixelos, he's still 14-1 at Ladbrokes. He could be one that's just as good, I think, at Gordon's. So, like, if you're interested in him, that's not an odds checker, but he's a good horse as well, I think. I was very impressed with both of them. And the horse that probably people are going to, they're going to be a bit surprised about, but I really took to her on Saturday, was Concertista. I'm not really sure how to play her. I think she could give Epatante a run, and I think she could give Honeysuckle a run. Munir and Suede will not be moved, in their opinion, about what race she goes by the Willie Mullins trying to win the easy races here and there. If they think she can beat Epatante, I think they'll go champion hurdle. She's 20-1 each way, getting £7 off the colts or the geldings, sorry, and levels with Epatante with hurdling like she put in. I think she could give Epatante a run myself, but you have to be wary of where she goes. I think she could give Honeysuckle a run. I just wonder if Honeysuckle's stamina would be the deciding factor against Concertista. But I was mega impressed. I just don't know how I can play this, because she's 6-1 for the mares, but it's not really a great price if you don't know where she's going. She's 5-1 any race, which sort of half tempts me in, but then if she goes champion, I'm getting a quarter the price of what I should have got. So at the moment, I'm really, really wondering about where I go with Concertista. But she was the horse that I was most taken with the weekend. I thought she was really, really good. She was really impressive last year at Cheltenham. I know the race was pretty poor, but she came there tanking with Dolcita, who we'd backed. And I thought coming towards the last, Dolcita had a chance, and Concertista blew it away up that hill and pulled 8 lengths clear. And she could have won any distance she wanted on Saturday. I think she's good. I just don't know how to play her. And it's really difficult when you haven't got accounts with William Hill that you can get bets on, you haven't got accounts with Sky Bet, and you don't know the absolute target of that horse. And that's where I'd want to play. I'd want to play, if I knew she was going to champion hurdle, I'd be all over her at 20-1. I really would. But there's a big chance she's going to the mares, and then you've lost your money. If she goes to the mares, 6-1, I'd be going straight in with a bet on her to win. I wouldn't go each way on that. But it's the doubt. It's the doubt on where she goes. Talking about Concertista, I left her to last on purpose. I think she could be better than Benny DeJew. And I wonder, is that the reason that Benny DeJew is supposedly going over fences? Does Mullins know? But then again, if Munir said, right, I'm going champion hurdle with Concertista, and that's where you're going to have to aim her, then Benny could still slip back in to the mare's hurdle. But is this the reason she's going chasing? I know a lot of shrewd people are backing Benny for the mare's chase, including a couple of the people who write on our comments, like Anthony Carlisle, and I've spoken to D. Gill as well, and he said, pretty much similar. And my DMs are always open on Twitter if you want to chat about Cheltenham or just about anything in general. The 10-1 for her, if she goes to the mare's chase, will be huge. I just don't know. There's too much toing and froing, and it's Willie Mullins as well, and you won't know till late on where they're going to go. But that 10-1 could look very, very big. Shag got a great price in Epatante. He said he got quite a bit of money on her at 3-1. Like I've said, although I don't see any negatives in the reigning champion or a top trainer who's already come out this season and won, I still would put the proviso on that that was a tripe race on Saturday, and the eulogising from Fitzgerald and McCoy was way, way over the top, considering she beat So Royale, who was last in last year's champion chase, even behind Defi Dussault. So, just temper everything. When you're going to put a bet off, you've got to look at possible negatives as well as all the positives. So, yeah, just be a little bit careful. Shane's put quite a lot of good comments up, and perhaps have a look at them. But the comments from Philip Keats showed him to be pretty shrewd as well. It is the case that do you really want to back a 2-1 shot anti-post, 6-4 shot anti-post, just to say you're a Cheltenham winner, when there are plenty of good 2-1 shots running every day and every weekend? That is a matter of choice. And it is something to seriously think about, especially when I'm saying I think a lot of shrewd guys watch the videos. Then it really is something that you should have a real think about before you're going in on the Epatons, the Shiskins, the Envoy Allens, and these type of horses. Because is it worth tying your money up for that amount of time to back a 6-4 shot just to say, I backed that at 6-4? Alright, the horse could go off at 6-4 on 4-7, 1-2 on the day. But you've waited 3.5 months for that bet. You've had the possibility that horse could either get beaten and be bigger price or be injured before the race. So it was a really good comment, and it's the sort of comment that is the way I sort of think about racing. I think like that. That's why I've never put a short priced horse up. I don't think I've put a horse up as a bet for Cheltenham in the 3 years I've put up. I don't think I've put anything up that's been shorter than 7-2. And I remember when I put Petit Mouchoir up at 7-2 in a double each way, that was because I knew the field would cut up, but I thought Petit Mouchoir could win. But most of my bets are 5-1 plus, and you really do have to start thinking about things when you're betting anti-post at less than 2-1, 3.5 months before the race. I think the bookies have got punters by the short and curlies. It's whether you accept it or not. It isn't really the be-all and end-all to be on a short price favourite. The one horse I didn't talk about was Monkfish, who was cut from 8s to 4s. I think, although Monkfish was very impressive, that was an overreaction, because the big getaway, the big breakaway, they haven't gone away. Latest Exhibition hasn't gone away. Pencil Full of Lead's not gone away, and actually his form got a big boost over the weekend. So there are horses in all these divisions that are going to give horses that are short prices a race. They're not gimmies. I'm in a WhatsApp group where people were talking about, look at all these shorties that are on the first day of Cheltenham already. And you've got, according to this weekend, Bally Adams is cert, Shiskins is cert, Epatants is cert, Honeysuckles is cert. You know, Galvin's already a short price really for a National Hunt chase. Are they all really going to win? I mean, is there no point in the other horses turning up on the Tuesday at Cheltenham? I don't think so. Like I said in the first video, 5 out of 6 odds-ons were beaten at Cheltenham last season. There are no gimmies. There really isn't any gimmies. And you've got to look at tying up your money for this amount of time. You've got to be looking for value and what horses could give you value. I've said I want to play Concertista. I can't work out a way of playing her to make it profitable. But she was the one I took out most at Cheltenham. I was really impressed with it out of the 4 Cheltenham, Zana here was definitely a horse I liked. And have a look at Braveman's game, because I think he's gone a wee bit under the radar. Not many people are talking about him. He's winning lesser races at the moment, but boy, he's looked good. I know this is the longest video I've ever made, but there was a lot to talk about. Just be a wee bit cautious with all these shorties. Don't go too crazy thinking that the multiples are absolute certainties, because even the singles aren't certainties at Cheltenham. I love doing the videos for Cheltenham, but the value's been squeezed. You know, I hope you have a good panting weekend. I won't be making a video on Friday. I'll wait till Monday. We've got Tingle Creek. I haven't seen the entries yet. It's highly likely Altior's going to do a lap of honour around Sandown and be capped for the champion chase. But we'll see. But anyway, have a great week. Thanks for watching and keep the comments coming in. Bye for now.